This week, HangiEv.com Soruyoruz hosts the director of Ian Smith Estate Agency, Kate Özikiz'e. Mrs. Özikiz'e, your agency is named after your father and founded by him in 1985. Could you please tell us a bit more about Ian Smith's foundation and the process after?
Yes, my father was 40, was coming up to 40 years of age in 1985. He'd just been to South America on a building contract, and he was invited by the Turkish government to come on another building contract in North Cyprus in 1985. He came for 3 months and fell in love with the island. He went back home, asked my mum if she'd like to move here, and 35 years later, we're still here. So it was obviously a good decision. He set up what I believe was the first British Cypriot estate agency. He had a Turkish Cypriot partner in Kyrenia, and he opened an office there, which he eventually went on to run himself as Ian Smith Estate Agency. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's in the year 2000. So that's when my husband Osman and I joined the family business and helped my father run it. And now, sadly, my father passed away in 2021, and Oz and myself are now running the business together.
You have been working with the same colleagues for a long time. You don't seem to replace your employees as often as other estate agents. What is the reason behind this?
So we believe that continuity is very important in our business. We've been very lucky to have some members of staff who've been with us almost 20 years now. One of them, Jackie, has been our office manager. She runs our sales for 18 years. It's nice, obviously, for people to see the same people they come back to year after year. We believe they're our most valuable asset, our staff. So obviously we try and look after them, and they look after us and our customers in the same way.
Can you share with us a funny memory that you had in the field of real estate?
We've got lots of funny moments. Obviously, we have a laugh pretty much every day here about customers, incidents that happen. It tends to be going into houses where people haven't told us they're here. We find them sleeping in beds. We found people naked in their swimming pool. So yes, that's what happened. We've also had an Asian customer who came in a few years back asking us if this was Paphos, because he wanted to buy a house in Paphos. And we told him it wasn't, obviously, it was Gimle, but he still went on to buy a house off us. So that was quite funny that he was totally in the wrong area of the island, but still did buy.
As we know, you have a diploma in residential estate agency from the National Federation of Property Professionals. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Yes, I was coming up to 40 years of age in 2013, I think it was. Yeah. And I had 2 young children and decided I need to get the grey matter going a bit and start studying again. As far as I knew, no one in North Cyprus had a degree in estate agency that was actually practicing. So I thought it would be a good idea, and I did some research and did a 3-year online degree. I had to go back to Bristol to take my exams. I love a challenge, so it was quite a challenge to have the kids at home working full-time and do a degree. But to this day, I think it's been very helpful being the only person to have a degree in real estate in North Cyprus.
As Ian Smith Estate Agency, is there a reason you specialize in resale properties?
We did start off selling new builds and resales, but we found not only is it easier, it's better for us. We're able to check the paperwork. We know that the house has been snagged. Resales obviously have their paperwork in order. They're in the vendor's name. So we think it's a better deal for our customers that they're buying resales. We do still have a few bills where we work with developers that we know are trustworthy, who do hand over the paperwork, the kochan, the title deeds in order. But generally we find that Europeans, foreigners, do like a completed house that's had all the snagging done, the paperwork's in order, and obviously it helps our reputation that we're also handing over a property as it should be.
First Brexit, then the pandemic. How did these 2 events affect the demand from the United Kingdom?
Obviously, to begin with, it was in a negative way. Pandemic stopped flights to North Cyprus, so we had a very quiet couple of years. But conversely, when travel restrictions were lifted, we had a huge influx of Brits and Europeans coming over Because of Brexit, people were getting out of the UK. North Cyprus is one of the cheapest places to buy in the Mediterranean. We found a huge amount of Brits who are still coming. Germans also, we're finding a lot of them are moving out of Germany to buy over here. So after a couple of very quiet years, this last year has been extremely busy for most estate agents, and it looks like it's going to be another busy year for us this year as well.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming and interviewing me, and you can find all our properties on HangiEv.com.